the price of XRPs skyrocketing and could reach as high as $1,650.00 to $2.90 by the end of 2024. Get ready for a big financial break. These claims aren't just crazy, they're based on a big event, the release of an XRP ETF. Think about this. BlackRock, a big financial company that made a Bitcoin ETF that did very well, is now applying its successful track record to XRP. BlackRock's move into XRP is a big deal because almost every ETF plan they've set in has been approved, but BlackRock isn't the only one making waves. Grayscale has also joined the party and suggested an XRP ETF. This shows how XRP is becoming more popular. Broadcasting studios, Ripple Labs, and are becoming more important in the world of international business. Welcome back to Hellcoin, the place where you can learn everything about XRP. Before we get to the meat of today's post, let's quickly catch up. Please do me a favor, tap the like, subscribe, and bell buttons to join our great group. Also, just so you know, we're getting ready for a big XRP giveaway as we get closer to 8,000 subscribers. It's really easy to enter in the giveaway. Just do these 3 things. Make sure you're ready and tuned in to enter the giveaway as you read this. Don't forget to leave a help coin code in the comments. Now, let's see what's new in the exciting world of XRP. If you look closely, you can see that BlackRock has a great track record of accepting ETFs. When BlackRock takes a stake in cryptocurrencies in Web3, it changes the way standard banks think about digital currencies in a big way. BlackRock is the best at managing assets in the world. BlackRock has an amazing 99.8% approval rate for ETFs, which makes them an unbeatable force in the ETF world. It's important to look at the big picture. Big banks like JP Morgan and BlackRock have not only been looking at XRP, they've been actively buying it. Reports, including a paper that came out, say that these big companies have more than 7.5% of their total wealth was put into XRP. An in-depth article from not long ago even said that BlackRock might be shifting all of its attention from Bitcoin to XRP, which would be a big change in how they spend their money. This shows that people are becoming more interested in XRP, which makes the idea of a BlackRock-backed XRP ETF more likely than ever. Things get even more interesting now, though. There is now an XRP ETP, which is a big step toward an ETF. No one knows who made it, but the fact that it exists is a big deal. Reports say that the XRP ETP has been released, but it is still in the pre-release process and has no value. It is ready to be shown off at any time. Every day, more and more people are talking about the idea of launching an XRP ETF at the same time as the ETP. This simultaneous release not only makes sense, but it also shows how quickly work is progressing on the ETF. You could come out just a few weeks after a Bitcoin ETF. To give you an idea of how big the potential is for XRP, its value could go through the roof once its ETF hits the market, going up to $165, 0 cents, or even $2.50 50s. Listen up, this isn't as crazy as it sounds. The XRP ETP is already live, and an XRP ETP will be possible in just a few weeks. A lot of people don't know this, but Fidelity, a big name in the financial world, has made the exchange-rated product for XRP public. This means that things are moving quickly toward the start of an XRP ETF. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is expected to give its approval soon. Yesterday, we talked about a new publication that brought news of an XRP ETF that might be coming soon. The news came from a report that was leaked from BlackRock and showed that an ETF filing for XRP was about to happen. A top BlackRock analyst made a public comment that made things even more exciting by announcing that a BlackRock ETF will be launched that is just for XRP. And in an ADAP report, they even talked about the iShares XRP trust. At first, I wasn't sure about this, but I looked it up myself, and sure enough, it was true. It's on the Delaware list of corporations online. This new development changes everything, and it shows how close we are to seeing a big change in XRP's market position maybe even bigger than the changes we've seen with Bitcoin's ETF. A new study makes it clear that the crypto world is about to go through a big change. And it's clear that big companies are getting into cryptocurrency. BlackRock is leading the way by holding on to a lot of XRP and also using the XRP system in their business. Most importantly, they are moving forward with the public launch of an XRP ETF. There's a very good chance that BlackRock will approve the XRP ETF. They have almost a 95% chance of doing so. You can't say enough about how much an XRP ETF changes its value. That's why a $9,831.00 gold price for XRP, which may seem high at first, starts to make sense when you think about all the big things that are about to happen. For example, XRP is setting itself up to become a major player in global debt trades. It's possible for $1.0080 to $1.30 quadrillion dollars to move through the XRP ledger, with the ISDA being the main driver. The BRICS countries, including Saudi Arabia, are all adding the XRP ledger to their systems, and the Republic of Palau is using the XRP ledger to make its new digital currency for the central bank. Since there aren't many XRP coins available and a lot of people want them, the value of each one would naturally skyrocket. This topic has been getting a lot of attention lately, and some people think my excitement about XRP is all in my head. I really want to accept this, so I take a deep breath, roll it up into a big ball, and light it on fire. It's really strong stuff. I really believe and hope it keeps you going, especially when things are bad and you're barely hanging on. If you don't believe in hope and think it's all just wishful thinking, that's fine too. Help each other out. That's what I tell myself. We're not about throwing pieces into a void, so anything less feels like that. We're to keep things quiet. And since we're talking about good things, I love how interesting the conversations are and how hard everyone's points of view are, because they make your mind work really hard. It was pointed out that organizations don't have to buy XRP, they could also lease it, which is an interesting idea. This made me think about what would happen if regular people were the only ones to buy XRP. I looked into it more and even asked ChatGPT how many transactions happen every day on the SWIFT system. The answer was over $7 trillion, 0 cents, which I thought was crazy. Keep in mind that this only includes trade between countries. It does not include the swaps market, which is worth quadrillions of dollars in smart contracts. Think about how XRP could be used in all of these areas. For example, let's look at foreign trade, which is where SWIFT works. If you cut that $7 trillion, 0 cents in half, what do you think would happen if XRP with its $1,700, 0 cents connections, yes, Ripple and XRP have really raised the bar here, had to handle only $3 trillion, 0 cents a day? The system would have to hold $3 trillion, 0 cents a day, which could make XRP worth more than $1, 50 cents per share.